So hello guys, welcome to yet another video. Um, as you can see, it's 11:26 in the night, way past my bedtime. But I was busy somewhere and I was not able to make the video, so I decided that I won't sleep before making the video, as that will ruin another day of mine. So yeah, here is all that I have learned today. Again, it was a class of ethics and human interface, which is the first keyword of our syllabus of GS4, which is ethics. So, yeah, in today's class, I learned about religion ethics. So, let's begin with Mahabharata. What I learned in Mahabharata was from Bhishma, I learned loyalty. So, if I have to give any reference in my question, I would quote Bhishma as he was loyal towards his king. He was in any circumstance, he stood for him, even though his king was wrong. So, this is also a concept of Nishkam Karma, which basically means that you just focus on your duty and you're not worried about the consequences. Also, please don't mind the dogs barking in the background. I cannot do anything about it. Yeah, from Dronacharya, we can learn transparency. So, he was transparent about he told everyone about the way that he can be killed. Otherwise, if he was not transparent, he could have never been killed. So, we can learn that transparency from him. We can use this keyword in any question related to transparency. From Arjun, we learn fortitude. Fortitude is basically means that the way you behave in a pressurous situation, the way you tackle an adverse situation, uh, and if you tackle it bravely, that is fortitude. From Yudhishthir, we can learn, we cannot learn, but the main keyword from Yudhishthir that we can use in our answer is um, the Ardh Satya, which is honesty but not integrity and not probity. So that is, we can, in any case study we can mention where there is a case of Ardha Satya, which Yudhishthir said that when Ashwathama the elephant died and he agreed, but it was Ardha Satya as not the son of Dronacharya Ashwathama but the elephant Ashwathama was dead. From the teachings of Gita, we can learn Lok Sangraha, which basically means that you do your action such that it benefits the whole society. Again, this one Nishkam Karma, which I have mentioned earlier. And from Ramayana, we can learn from the different characters of Ramayana, and Ramayana in general, we can learn about the ethics of the value of the ethics that was there in the whole kingdom. And from Ram, Shri Ram, we can learn the sanctity, and we can learn the truthfulness, the righteousness. He was always on the path of righteousness. And from Sita ji, we can learn fortitude. From Bharat, we can learn not to take what's not ours, because he was offered the Sinhasan when Ram was in the exile, but he denied. So, we can use these keywords. From Lakshman, we can learn brotherhood. We can quote or mention Lakshman when there is, a case of brotherhood. Again, from Sufi tradition, even though there are many things that we can use in our answers or in keyword, but one of the most important or significant, as I may say, is oneness of being. which basically means that there should not be any discrimination, there should be unity amongst all. So we can use this in our answer. It will impact it towards, positively. And Islamic. So if any question is asked directly, even though I don't think so it will, as because the sir says it, but if it is asked, akhlaq is basically the ethical codes which is mentioned in Islam. So the important takeaways from Islamic ethics is I'm sorry, self purification, self improvement, which basically means that, focusing on ourselves to become better version of ourselves, and for the society as well it is better. Again, Islamic ethics says that by nature man is good, but the desires and the material makes a man corrupt, which is basically totally opposite from what Hobbes has to say, as he says that man is self-preserving in nature. So these two are very different in their true sense. But yeah, the takeaway from Islamic tradition can be this. Now we move to Sikh tradition, Sikh ethics. We can learn purposeful, moral, virtuous life. So, if any question comes from the life perspective, if we have to mention anything about life, or public sphere case studies where there is a case of corruption, we can mention that, you know how a virtuous, how a moral, how a purposeful life will help an individual, organization, to become better version of themselves, and it will uplift the ethical code of conduct as well. Cardinal virtues and cardinal values of Sikh tradition is, there are five, that are uh, Nirvair, which means non-enmity. There is Santosh, which means calmness. There is Sukh, which means happy, happiness. And then there is Daya, which means mercy. And then there is Dan, which means, to give. As we can already, we know that the Sikh tradition, the Sikh religion is famous for its service. The service that it, usually gives. Even in COVID-19, we saw them serving the people, the society, and even during now the Punjab floods that took place, the unfortunate Punjab floods. The Sikh community has always been working towards the social service. So another takeaway from this is, social service. Another point, we can learn many things, we can use many things from the Sikh tradition, and another one of them is honest living, honest earning, and this is, more useful in case studies where, there is nexus, there is corruption. So we can mention this point and, quote in the Sikhism. Then from Jain tradition, we learn the Tri Ratna, which is right faith, right knowledge, right conduct. If I believe in the right faith, you know, and if I have the right knowledge, my conduct will be right. But if any of the two is not right, my conduct will automatically be wrong. For example, we can take Osama bin Laden. Uh, he had right knowledge, he was an engineer, but just because his faith was not right, his faith was very, very wrong, and that is why his conduct automatically it became very wrong, and as we already know it. So, these are the takeaways from today's class.